Hi everybody. Welcome to the Creatives Coffee Hour, a place for all of us to share and talk about what's been going on, what's happening, what are we working on, what are we thinking about working on, how is everyone
I'm good, and I have something to share with you today, probably too.
doing? Oh, that sounds really good. So good. Good to know that, Pen. That's important. Well, me, I'm just slowly recovering from some sort of weird infection, and the antibiotics are kicking my butt, but I'm here. So what's new on the platform or what's new? What do you guys work?
Well, I'll start off something new in the creatives area.
That sounds good, Hive.
And I came across this link through Muggy, and the says for the creatives people, these people are doing something good, and they're giving sometimes like $10 a vote. So I thought with you being into the creatives, that this might be something where you can get in contact with them and try benefit from them, or even for your source of creative arts. Although it does seem to be more music and writing kind of poetry and stuff orientated, but you could introduce new stuff, saying, "Hey, listen, these are creative and these are arts too."
It's probably mostly music and writing and stuff because that's what seems more prevalent on the platform. They might be interested in other people's interesting.
Well, they've got categories of art, design, and photo, music, dance, entertainment.
And art is really hard to find. I mean, art just is so many mediums.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe you could swing some angle, maybe get a bit of support through them for your show or something like that. Either way is when you do creative stuff, post it in their stuff because they're giving big rewards.
And it doesn't hurt to get yourself out there, does it?
You never know, it might be a thing of where they say, yeah, we'll support something like that, and then creatives all over the platform will just get a little bit of a boost. What an ocean starts with a raindrop.
That's a good saying, Hive. I like that.
Okay, that's two good deeds today so far. I gave you a nice saying and I gave you a post I'm going to shoot up before I ruin my reputation.
Well, yeah, I was just sitting back here wondering. I wonder what he's up to. Ivan, I'm going to pick on you. What else are you up to?
Oh, did anybody see So Corp's new site for trading?
No.
Okay, well, you know me and Sir Cork like don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and I'm not afraid to speak up against him, and he's not afraid to speak against me. But at the end of the day, I don't hold that type of stuff personal. But he's starting a little shop, and you can buy stuff in the shop with your Steam. He is working on bullion bars or whatever they're called, the platinum, gold, and silver type stuff. He has them in grams and ounces, and he also has some really cool looking jewelry. Which one of was I showed to the kitty girl? It was a little kitty, she thought it was pretty as well. So, the prices don't seem to be over the top to me. They seem reasonable for what they are. You would pay that anyway, like probably even a bit of a bargain maybe in some of them. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to share the link to that yet because it's not open. But yeah, so Cork has stuff coming in the pipeline too.
Is that in D Market?
Oh, in the D stores with the range, no. But I did tell him about that and told him maybe he could swing his way in, maybe get a little shop in there too. Um, It does look. They have, these you get these gold plated flowers, and they have a fancy flower, and yeah, you put them on a stand type stuff. I'm sure you've probably seen one or two of them at times. It's that type of stuff. Um, it's not really expensive, but it looks fancy.
That's interesting. Thanks, Ive.
Yeah, he has a few more things to upload on it before he actually opens up to let everybody just go. And the prices he has there are not the prices he'd be selling it either. They're just in there for a price type thing.
Gotcha. So, Ivan, this is pretty cool. I haven't seen you make a peacock before.
I've actually been trying to make this for a long, long time, still in high school, but I couldn't. So I'm really glad I finally managed to make the simpler and the complicated one. And I see that people.
Oh, this is a great post.
Thank you.
So this is one of those projects that you've been kind of keep going back to since high school.
Well, I haven't done it in a while, but every once in a while I try some models that I couldn't do before just to see if I've improved. Also, I wanted to mention I tried out eSteam, and it's really cool. It's like Facebook, like Steam at Facebook. So check it out if you.
Oh, what do you mean, like Steam at Facebook?
Like the layout. It's a download app, and you open it like it's like a web browser sort of thing, and it looks like Facebook, has all the notifications mentioned.
Oh, very cool. So I wonder if they've put out the upgraded version yet. Callie said it'd be coming out in November.
I haven't. I downloaded it yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe. I don't know, but it's really.
Oh, very cool. We'll have to check that out. That sounds really good.
Also, I think I'm not sure. Like maybe I just got lucky, but I got 0. Like 80 cents upload from them for using eSteam.
Oh, that's a really nice incentive. So did you do this post on eSteam?
Yeah, I mean typing and everything is normal. It's just layout of where everything is different.
Oh, this is awesome. I didn't realize you could do multi-pictures now on eSteam.
What do you mean multi-pictures?
Back in September, I tried to use eSteam. Well, it could have been my inadeptness, but I tried to use eSteam while I was over at Desi's waiting. One of those times we thought the baby was coming. So I wanted to do a post using eSteam, and I had the hardest time with it. I ended up just using the browser on my phone. And
I haven't tried it on my phone though. I did it on my desktop.
are you on a Mac?
Windows.
Wow. So where do you find the app for your desktop for Windows?
I can find what the name of it was, but it wasn't. It didn't say Windows exactly. It was just not Mac one.
Oh, awesome. I didn't realize you could use the app on Windows. So do you go into the Microsoft Store to get it?
I don't think so. It was on GitHub, I think. It has the source code and everything.
Oh, very cool. Has anyone else tried it on Windows? I'll take that as a no, or maybe just not talking right now.
I can't really find where I downloaded it. Somewhere.
Snook, you're awfully quiet. Are you drinking your coffee?
I found it. It was just a setup link. East Surfer Setup 1.1.12.
Ah, there we go. Pandaris dropped the link. Thanks, Pen. Yeah, Snook, you lit up, but I didn't hear any sound coming out of there. Oh, I'm going to have to try this Easting. This looks really good. I didn't know that it was available for the desktop. Well, Pen, I figure I might as well just try things. I don't know if I like them if I don't try them. It's kind of like Mikey likes it. Remember? I don't know if you're old enough, that old Life Brain commercial. Give it to Mikey. He won't eat anything. Oh, Mikey likes.
Oh my God, I had forgotten about that.
Can you hear me now?
Yay, yes, there you are.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you couldn't hear me. Hi.
Hi. I enjoyed your interview with Zippy. That was really.
Yeah, I did. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. But now I need a new last question because nobody can top the over/under question for toilet paper after Zippy.
It is an age-old battle, isn't it? And that was a pretty damn good answer.
Then what? I was like, what?
We should have some sort of competition and see who can get the most creative with toilet paper.
Ivan would
Already.
win hands down. You know that. He would win hands down.
I
I
can
don't.
make
Go ahead,
Yes,
Ellen.
you.
I can make a crane out of toilet paper probably.
See, you would probably win. The best I would do is put it on the roller.
Actually, BRB.
BRB, mean be right back. You're going to go try to make.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty floppy. I wonder how you get a good hold with it. I was what went through my head was that stupid commercial with the lady wearing a gown made out of toilet paper.
I haven't seen that one, I guess. But that's crazy.
I think it's an old one because I haven't really watched commercials in a very long time. So how are you doing, cross-county travelers? What are you two up to these days?
I'm pretty good. Got over whatever it was we had, and as soon as my fever broke, Scott goes, "Let's go find water." So Friday evening, we drove out to Natural Dam, Arkansas, and got some waterfalls, and then we went into Ouachita National Forest and got 5 more. It was amazing, and the colors, the trees were just gorgeous. So it was amazing. Now I'm working on all the video, trying to get it all done.
That must be a lot of work trying to compile all that video.
It is, because I take hours worth, because I'll drive so I can catch things, and I'll take video while I'm driving, and just as much as I can. I looked at it and I think I've got 16 hours of video.
There's a guy spamming on your post, Snoop.
Yeah, before I went to bed, I left a message with Guilty because I was wondering about the links and stuff. And I've seen him on more than one post. And it's like, follow this curation trail, or you'll be put on a trail. And anyway, he was saying that that's borderline. Uh, sorry, I'm not awake. But it's not really legit kind of thing. So he left a message on there. It's this guy named,
That's a weird name.
yeah, I know. It's their parents, you know.
So I guess some spamming's still getting through the cracks.
Well, he's got a reputation of 61. His name is Kenny Brown. And it's called the Block Gators Army. And it's just, he put it on two of my posts, and it's a big block of, text with links and stuff. But you send him to Steam for a 30-day subscription, and then he'll vote on, or the Black Gators Curation Trail Volume 1 will vote on your stuff. And his account has 200 SP.
Oh, so that's really worth 2 Steam.
Well, yeah. So anyway, I let Guilty know about it before I went to bed, and then I woke up and that's what I was reading. It was his answer. Which was another reason why I was quiet, but not, I don't know why my push-to-talk wasn't working. That's a whole other story.
Well, I noticed another comment. I don't know if it was this morning on one of your posts or on Shadow's post, and I noticed that someone has a curation and they're doing false news and conspiracy theories. That looked rather interesting.
Oh, that's where I saw it too, was on your it might have been Shadows. Yeah. And it's a 5%, and the second one he did on mine, the 5% upvote was 0.2. The first one he did, it was 1 cent. And Guilty was saying he's right on the edge of the Spaminators, whatever. So, anyway, they're looking into it.
Ivan, you succeeded. You made a crane out of toilet paper. That's amazing.
Hooray, Ivan!
The material isn't that bad. I've used worse.
I have too.
Pandaris, I've seen the popcorn command. What is the shitpost command? Has anyone else used the popcorn command when they see drama happening?
I tend to stay out of drama for my channels.
Well, I haven't used it, but I saw it on a couple of posts a week or two ago, and I thought it was just hilarious, to be honest.
What does it look like?
It basically it's a picture of people eating popcorn, and it's just when you see drama happening, you do the exclamation point and the word popcorn, and it'll bring up a random picture of people eating popcorn.
Oh, I hope I find some drama.
Just go through any Bernie's posts and you'll see a bunch of.
Bernie?
From Bernie Sanders.
I'll have to go look. This is why I get into trouble. I get too curious about things.
Then you end up going down a rabbit hole, and then it sucks up a lot of your time, doesn't it? So there's a way to get eyes on. Be a total doorknob, and everybody will go look and see what you're doing, or not. Hi, kitty girl. Good to see you here. I have to admit, I've come to coffee hour totally unprepared. I've been away from the platform for almost a week now. First, it started with my internet being down, and then stuff with the kids, and then I ended up getting sick. So I feel like I've been away and missing everything. So what's new and interesting that's happened in the last week on the platform? Anyone got anything?
You should talk to Dreamstein because and for Desi to get the kids involved in the Spunky Monkey.
Oh, nobody heard about Dreamsteam then, no?
What about Dream?
I
Let me get.
wrote out Dreamsteam a 5K delegation.
Wow,
Wow.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see. She's been working so hard on the Spunky Monkey thing.
Very cool. We'll have to check that out.
But it's for kids. It's for parents to do with kids on Steam.
What about Kids at Heart?
Yeah.
Well, there's a good question from Pandaris. You got any good jokes, Hive? There's
Oh, Dreamsteam was on the show in PAL for a few minutes, and Pendartis was after giving me the heads up on this Spunky Monkey already, and we were having a bit of a giggle in the DMs about I wouldn't have called it that. And I started uploading a couple of images of monkeys masturbating type thing. So we had a bit of laugh on that. And then obviously kind of like with that Dreams theme, we were having a bit of a laugh about it. So she was paranoid that we were going to start saying stuff in the chat while she was on the show. But no, we behaved.
So now you're under Snook time. She was on there for a few minutes, but it was actually 75. Are you stuck in a time warp?
But she was on two shows. She was on one for just a little bit, and then the next day, afternoon, she was on for 75 minutes.
Oh, gotcha. I have to admit, Spunky Monkey, I'm glad I'm not the only one that went a little perverted with that.
Yeah, oh, that's the first thing popped into my head.
See, it must be that embarrassment thing because I never even went there. Maybe it's because I have grandkids or something. I don't know.
I know spunky is not the same word as spelled with it when it's spelled with a Y type thing, or without the Y. That word is totally different. I don't know. It's probably just the people I grew up with as kids, and yeah, nah, that's he. They said spunk, that type of thing.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep,
go ahead.
missed it. Yeah, I just totally missed it.
It's like being a little kid and looking at someone and said, oh, you said duty. Hi, Monchichi. Good to see you. So Spunky Monkey, that is a really good initiative, and hopefully it'll encourage some youngins to do some writing or something creative on the platform. That'd be really cool.
I know that my grand George the First is looking forward to it, and we felt like this would be a good way for him to start learning how to do the blogging. So I think it's going to do a lot more than just what she was thinking. I think it's going to open up even a lot more doors for the kids.
Well, kids are growing up a whole lot faster, and they're doing a whole lot more than we did when we were kids. I know my grandson's certainly doing a heck of a lot more than I ever thought.
Yeah, same here.
Well, it's better than the being on Facebook or Snapchat or any of those. You know, they go onto Steam, they can put a little bit of something in their account, but they can get creative and actually have feedback, positive feedback instead of bullying. What are you smoking over there, Snug?
Oh, sorry. That's
Instalag? Is that another word for Instagram, Pen? I have to admit, I don't really go on Facebook anymore, but I really still enjoy scrolling through my Instagram. But then I don't follow 50 million people. I just follow certain ones, and I love getting my kayaking and my crafting on, and it gives me eye candy.
my Facebook has now, for the 25th time, made me change my password in the last 2 weeks.
Did you get hacked?
No, I changed browsers. And the Edge browser, because the Flash doesn't work right on Chrome for one of the things that I do on there to relax and have fun. Um, so I started using Edge, and because it works, and it logs you out while you're in it, and then all of a sudden it'll tell you that there was suspicious activity, and um, and then you have to give your birth date or pick out pictures of people, and yeah, it. I actually have a notebook with 20 crossouts. No, I'm not trying another browser because I've tried 3, and they all do the same thing. They all do the same thing. And it's not like it's a new account.
Doesn't Facebook have an option if you've forgotten your password, they'll email it to you, or do you forget which email you use?
Neither. I know the email and password, and it says that there is suspicious activity. So you need to give you your birth date and change your password. It makes you change your password.
Oh, I hate it when stuff does that. Yes, happy security, but it makes me crazy. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, and I mean, like 20 times. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I actually started putting in swear words.
I like you, Nick. I just absolutely adore you.
So now I'm just getting creative with my swear words or passwords.
That's a fun pastime, getting creative with swear words. That fills the time. Jack Miller wrote, I tried Reddit today and my very first post got deleted by them. So been there and done that. The only thing I can say about and to Reddit is, that's nice. I don't think I've ever even gone on Reddit. What the hell is Reddit?
You find a post that MSN put up about something, and you post over there and basically create a forum trail type thing.
Have any of you guys had any luck with off-platform marketing? I noticed there's some Facebook groups for different Steamians, and different Steamians are on Instagram. I saw Penn mention something about Share to Steam. Is that for Twitter, Penn?
I mean, I used while DLive was still alive, I used the Twitter to post my links, and they uploaded something.
Yeah, share to Steam, you tag they cover YouTube, Twitter, and InstaSlag now. I think, yeah. So you basically use their tag, share to Steam, or you can actually assign your own tag, like maybe you have a personal tag, and then when it sees you've posted anything on one of those platforms using those tags, it'll post it to Steam directly. So you customize your template so you can have pre-body, like for instance, a tweet is very short, so you can add your like body and then just say, okay, the content from the tweet, Instagram or YouTube goes into this section, but I still want all my nice headers and footers, and then it will post it to your account from there.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
I've used it a couple of times with my Instagram, and it works really well.
So who's the developer or the team that's working on that project?
I actually haven't checked, but I'll get the link for them quick unless Kitty hasn't got it already.
Yeah, Kid goes pretty quick.
I just love that about her. She knows everything.
The thing about Kitty Girl is that she actually types them links out by hand. She doesn't have them on hand. She has them in memory.
Like I said, she's amazing.
Kitty Girl wrote 3 to 4 years ago, I had a computer die. When I went to log into Facebook on the new computer, it wouldn't let me into my old barn project page because it was an unknown device. I've not been able to get into the page since, and they refused to assist because something looked suspicious. Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah, and I was seeing something about that they started having, I guess somebody hacked Facebook or something. I don't know. And that's when all the problems started. But it's just, like I said, at night before I go to sleep, I play anyway a game to relax, and I'd go on a couple different accounts, and it's but now it's not. It's just my blood pressure goes up, so I don't talk about. Well, I don't. It's just that there's a game on there that's free, and I do my thing, and it's one of those relaxing things you do right before you go to sleep. But yeah,
Well, with the D market or D stores coming up, I'm kind of curious as to how people are planning on marketing themselves. Is there anyone here that's planning on or thinking about how they can utilize the D stores?
I'm thinking about doing it with my T-shirts and stickers.
Oh, that'd be a really great outlet for you.
Hoping so.
It's really an exciting concept when you think about it. And actually being able to just, that section where you can give away what you have and use some of your votes from your post to actually pay for the shipping. I think that's going to be amazing.
I love that idea because it enables us to be able to help this person out. Say they're wanting baby clothes and there's all these baby clothes. All of us can help that person out. And I just think that's an awesome thing to do. I mean, that's what we're here for as a community.
It's so true. And there's so many people on the platform that are going through hard times. It's just a human condition sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I love about this community. They're all so giving and sharing.
Speaking of giving and sharing, Christmas is coming up. How many of you do homemade Christmases? I guess I'm the only person with a death wish. It drives me nuts this time of year because I have specific projects that I have to work on. They have to get finished, and it kind of eats at your creativity a little bit. So I wonder if other people experience the same thing, whether you're doing videos, whether you're writing, whatever your creative outlet is. Do you find yourself getting a little squelched when you have to do a certain project?
I did that one year for Christmas. I knitted everybody a gift, and I never will do that again.
Oh, that's so hard. I did quilts one year, not full quilts, but little teeny tiny lap quilts. And I did most of them by hand, and it was just miserable.
It really can be. So this year, what I've decided to do is, for my close family, I'm making things, but for my in-laws and friends, I think it's going to be a food year.
Food is always
Monchichi says the only thing she likes about Christmas is baking sweet, tasty treats, pumpkin pie and pecan pie. That sounds good, Monchichi.
It does. We take a certain amount. Everybody gives like $5 or $6, and we get that pool together and we give it to one of our friends who loves to shop. I mean, this gal loves to shop. So we just give her this pool of money, and we give her a list of things that we want, our favorite color, our hobby, that sort of thing. And then she goes shopping over November and half of December. And then at Christmas, we all come in and we all have a gift from, we call it the Nana Claus. And we don't have to worry about getting gifts for anybody else, because then nobody feels bad. Somebody else has gone out and done the shopping, and we get a great big surprise. Is that lazy or what?
Actually, I think that's a really great idea.
And it keeps people from getting their feelings hurt. One year we did the gift exchange, and my daughter from Texas got really upset because my son just got her this little trinket, and it's what he could afford. It wasn't anything. It wasn't a slide or anything, but she got her feelings hurt because she bought my other daughter this great big enameled cast iron skillet thing, and she said, I put way too much into it and I didn't get anything out of it. So we decided to do this. And it makes Nana feel really good because she gets to go shopping. She gets to do for us. And then we get to enjoy that, and we get to laugh about some of the things. I mean, last year I got rubber ducky socks. So, it was awesome though. We all had so much fun.
Kind of reminds me of Big Bang Theory and Sheldon's idea about presents. I don't know if you guys watch it. I'm sure most of you do. And he hates Christmas and birthdays, etc. and so forth, because when he feels like when someone gives him a present, he has to give them something of equal value. So he goes crazy trying to have presents ready and trying to figure out what people are going to.
I love when he dumps all that stuff on Penny when she gives him that handkerchief.
Oh yeah, what was that? Spock's DNA was it Spock? Leonard Nimoy's DNA?
Yeah, I think so. It was so cool when it came out there and he's just like, oh, I don't have any more, sorry.
I love that show.
But it is the hardest part of Christmas, is because there's some people that have so much more money than you do, or, the other way around. And it does create some hard feelings. Well, not really hard feelings, just makes people feel like they're not worthy.
And unfortunately, that's why we had to go the route we did, because it was happening too often. And this is family, we're supposed to be understanding and caring. And instead, somebody was getting their feelings hurt, and then arguments were happening. So we almost banned Christmas presents altogether.
We had that at our house when everybody got old, and older. And my parents still had it, so there was like 25 people there. We did the pick a name on Thanksgiving, and then, you do the one gift thing until my sister-in-law gave out like a sale candle to somebody. And, and then, uh, yeah, it was just like, this is not good. So, I mean, the problem is that they did have money. You know what I mean? It was like they just like walked through Walmart and found a sale candle or walked up on their shelf and wrapped it up. And after that, we didn't do it anymore.
We used to do the draw a name thing 2 years ago, and then it just kind of went away. And there was just kind of this rule: once you're over 18, don't expect Christmas gifts.
Yeah, that's what the kids still go. The kids or grandkids or whatever still got them, but the adults didn't. Then after that year.
I have to admit, at first I was kind of like, oh. But then I thought about it, and it's like, that's a really good thing because it takes the commercial out of Christmas. Your gift is the time that you spend with your family and your friends. Or if you make them things, if it comes from the heart, because really that's Christmas, isn't it? Guilty parties. A whole pile of steaming Christmas cards to give out? That sounds neat. Did you make them? No, Pen. This Nana actually makes the toys for the little ones. Last year it was hats and sweaters. The grandkids like getting homemade gifts. Their mom's been really good about teaching them the value of when you put your heart into something. Make them an iPad. I'll get right on it. One of my I collect owls, and my most valuable treasure in my whole collection are these two little toilet paper rolls that the boys folded and painted, and they look like owls. And those are my favorite too out of my whole collection. So what creative things are you thinking about for Christmas?
My oldest and I have been working on Christmas recipe books, and we've almost got them finished. Where we're doing the cover and everything. We've got to get them organized, but that's what she and I are giving out for Christmas to the family.
Oh, that's a really excellent idea. Like family favorite recipes?
Yeah, surprisingly, there was about 100 of them, and we have photos to go with them.
That idea rocks. I started keeping a little notebook in my kitchen every time I do a family recipe that my kids really love or something that we've always eaten. I've started writing it in that because after both my parents were gone, I suddenly realized that there's recipes that were flowing, just gone. They're in the wind because they're gone with the person that made. That's a really great idea, Ren.
We liked it. It's it's been real fortunate for us because we haven't gotten the secret out yet. I think it's actually going to make it as a secret. So it's a good.
We did a newsletter one year back in the 90s. I guess it was the mid 90s. The internet wasn't in everybody's house like it is now. And we found all these jokes and interesting anecdotes and whatnot. We just put them all together and they seemed to go over really well. But now everybody has the internet and you just go on Facebook or whatever and see them all the time. So they're not quite as interesting.
Our family did calendars one year. We had everybody well, extended family, send in one picture that they really liked, and it was actually really neat. But that was when people used paper calendar.
Have people really gotten away from paper calendars? I have one hanging up. I think calendars are a great idea.
Well, good. I'll make sure that you get the link when we get ours finished so you can buy one.
Oh, cool. You guys are putting one together?
Yeah, we're doing from one of our travels each month for this next year. So we're almost done with it.
Kind of worries me when I think about not keeping the important things on paper because the power goes out sometimes. If the power ever went out on a big scale, we'd all be kind of screwed. Do you know your friends' phone numbers? I can't remember.
I'm lucky to remember Scott's.
I have all my numbers in my head. Bank account numbers, everything.
See, these days that's not the norm. I remember when we were kids, we had 50 million phone numbers in our heads because we had a rotary dial.
And the last number was 0, and you didn't push it all the way to the end.
Yeah, when you had a phone number with too many eights, nines, and zeros, it took a long time to dial. But you have to admit, kids these days don't know the joy of slamming that phone down on other people.
That I do agree with.
Sure they do. It just breaks their cell phone.
Speaking of breaking cell phones, I had my first experience when I was at Shadows. I put a crack right across my cell phone screen. I don't know how I did it, but I've got a case on it and one of those protective coverings on or coatings on the screen. Thank God for that, or I think my cell phone would be dead.
The problem with it, just by what you just said, in our house growing up, the phone was a privilege. It was something that was taken away, and like you can't use the phone because you whatever didn't get home in time, or it was a form of punishment. But also, you could slam it down. But if you did that in front of your parents, I mean, they paid for the phones, or for ours did, and they were like really expensive. So it was part of your bill, or you paid outright for it. So you had to be really careful of it. And nowadays, people with phones with little kids and stuff, I, I don't think they realize the amount of money, what it costs for them to actually have a phone. I don't know. It's one of those, everybody has one, and it's safer for them to have it, but there's that whole monetary thing that I don't think they realize the sacrifice that some people go through to give them that.
I think absolutely right, Snook. And it's hard to teach kids the value of a dollar. I remember when I gave my kids their first phones. They were in their teens. And the point was, answer the damn phone. I want to be able to talk to you at any point in time. But then the little buggers wouldn't answer it. So then what do you do?
You take them away.
Yeah, it's about the only thing you can do. So is it actually safer for them to have phones? I don't know.
In cases of emergencies, definitely. I mean, I have had a lot of cases where I don't think what I do without it.
Well, you have a good point there, Ivan. And I don't know about where you live, but here in Canada, you're hard pressed to find a payphone anywhere.
We
But there are
took all
payphones
ours
around
out.
here.
Yeah. We used to have them all over town, and they actually even came and took it out of the public library, the payphone. And there was people that didn't have phones that would use the payphone to call, like, you know, for disability and different things because they couldn't afford a phone. And then they came in and took out the payphone.
And that's a big thing too, is I don't know about where you live, but here in London, we have a lot of homeless people, a lot of people without phones, and there's no pay phones. So what the heck do they do? It's very expensive to get a cell phone here in Canada.
You can get cheap phones, but getting the plan, the whole, like how much you pay a month or how much phone calls cost is different.
My husband works for a company where he's constantly out driving. He repairs various different things. And he said that he's really sure the homeless rate here in London has gone up. Yet they're trying to tell us that our unemployment rate is the best that it's been in years. I don't get it.
because they don't count the homeless as unemployed.
I wonder if the homeless get on any stats whatsoever.
They begin these programs, initiatives to help you get back to work or something, and you go on this program while you are still unemployed that you do not get paid any extra money for. But while you're on that program, you are removed from the unemployment list.
I think here in Ontario that homeless don't end up on any stats whatsoever. Or people, stay-at-home moms, they don't end up on any stats.
Yeah, but say someone like me who was there and I'm unemployed and I'm finding it hard to get a bit of work. Well, they put me on this program that's uh, back to work initiative, let's call it. But now that I'm still unemployed, but I'm on this course, I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm a student grey area type thing. So I'm removed from the unemployment list to make the books look better.
And that's probably the way that they do it here too, in different ways. But we've got all these minimum wage jobs, retail, etc., and so forth, and they're just yelling, they're screaming for good employees, not just employees, but good ones. And unfortunately, this is a blanket statement. I don't mean it to be that way, but millennials don't seem to have the same work ethic that we did. I think we were raised, you buy a home, you get married, you buy a home, you have kids, you work at the same job for years, you end up on a pension. Well, the world doesn't work that way anymore, and I'm thinking that a lot of these millennials are trying to think outside the box. They're minimalizing what they need to live, and they're figuring out how they can live on their own without the man giving it to them. I think that might be part of it.
And part of it is that their mom and dad are still paying for their stuff.
Well, from what I've seen, that's a lot of it. A lot of them stay at home until they're well into their 30s. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's kind of sad. What have we done? Because we've raised this generation. It's kind of,
Yeah, my husband worked at a bar part-time, and this girl came in, and she was, well, she wasn't a girl, she was a woman, and she was almost 30, and her parents was, they were still giving her an allowance, like $5,000 a month, and she didn't have a job. So they finally told her that she had to get a job. And she did. And they were making her work 42 hours a week. And she was just irate. I was like, at 30, I was working 16-hour days just to live and eating, tuna out of a can. There's just, I don't know.
I want parents like that. When I was young, I used to be really ticked off that my parents wouldn't even buy me a stereo. It was earn it. And then I got older and I realized that all my friends that were given everything that they ever wanted, how did life turn out for them? Not very well, for some quite well, but for others, when they expect everything given to them, it doesn't give them much of an incentive to get out there and do something.
I agree. I agree.
Well, I guess this hasn't been a very creative hour, but it has been a good hour, guys, and I want to thank you all for coming. That's for sure. Any last minute thoughts, any posts you want to share before we get ready to wrap?
If I was getting 5k a month, I wouldn't want to get out there and get a job that pays 600 a week.
She had a pharmacist degree, which pays more than 600 a week.
A pharmacist degree? You're kidding.
Yeah. So they paid for like like $100,000 schooling for her, which she wasn't using.
Is it too old to be adopted when you're 50?
Tell me about it.
Ivan, what do you grow in there? Beans?
The second and third one, yeah, it's beans. I planted a single one, and then I realized that there are flowers growing. Then I realized that there's male and female flowers, and that I had to pollinate it. Apparently, only the top one was well pollinated.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But the top one is a zinnia. The thing is, probably because it's not getting enough light since it's winter and there's no sun, it started growing like crazy. It's around 1 meter tall now, and they are usually pretty.
I always had a problem with mine growing tall and skinny and falling over and just kind of dying off.
This one's really, really thick though. It's just that it's tall, and the flower's about to grow, so shouldn't be worried about it.
And Ren, that's a heck of a bridge. What was it like walking across that bridge?
I felt drunk. Watch the video. I mean, I was walking like I was drunk. It was hilarious. Scott was walking as if it was pavement until he got off of it, and then he just about fell on his butt.
Oh, did you get video of that?
Oh yeah, it's got a video. I detubed it.
Awesome. Everybody likes to see someone almost fall on their butt.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. He even wiggles. It's funny.
Oh, and this is a lummy looking post. This is a yummy looking post, Monchichi.
I love the meatloaf.
These are really creative.
Thank you.
Are they all your own ideas?
No, that was actually from Pinterest. I saw some ideas because I wanted to start a new tradition with me loving the Halloween season so much of just making Halloween themed food. And so I took to Pinterest and I got some ideas and just ran with them. It was,
Pinterest is so evil. It's evil.
I agree. It's evil. It takes up all my time.
Oh, with so much cool stuff on Pinterest. Where did you find those skull? I can't, new tongue, sorry guys. The skull tins. Where did you find those?
Well, actually, my mother-in-law, she knows how much I love skulls. So anything she finds that's skull related, she picks them up, and she goes to the thrift store a lot. And she found those at a thrift store and brought them to me, and that's, yeah, I used them to make Pizza Pockets. I thought it was really cool.
Pizza Pockets, that's so freaking cool.
I agree, Red. I was kind of patting myself on the back there for having skull Pizza Pockets.
Oh, so ooey and gooey. Ooh.
Yeah, I should have got a picture of them all opened up.
And now we're all hungry.
Well, it is lunchtime.
That's true. Well, I think we're going to wrap up, guys. Does anyone else have anything else they'd like to share before we say goodbye? Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. It's been an enjoyable hour, and I'm really glad to be here. So from Shadows Pub in Artemis North, this has been the Creators Coffee Hour. Go forth and steam ye, people.